That's the part 3.
Oh god.
Yeah, round 3.
It's definitely round 3 for real. And round 3 is always the best, they say as well, because this is the deciding round, isn't it? You're playing Street Fighter. Anyway.
Do you believe in numerology?
Yes, I do.
Numbers, everything's a number, innit?
I do believe in that because sometimes people will be like, "Oh, the number 11 or the number." It's like certain numbers have different meanings to people.
Yeah, I've been looking into it now. That numbers, we didn't discover numbers. Sorry, we didn't invent numbers. We discovered them. Mathematics, yeah. Like mathematics was already here on this planet. We just discovered it. We didn't invent it.
Well, that makes sense when you think about how people found out about gravity and like all the different bits and pieces.
Everything is mathematical, yeah. Nikola Tesla, he was obsessed with the number 369. He was obsessed with it, and he was so obsessed with it that he used to walk around the building 3 times before he actually go in the building.
That would have been his tattoos that he would have
369.
369, definitely.
But I'm definitely interested in like how the world works and where everything comes from, and it's like you are kind of a spiritual guy as well, and
yes, I am, yeah.
So that kind of it's cool, really, because I feel more comfortable talking to people who are like that, who are spiritual, because I feel like I can say anything to, because I've got some clients. Don't get me wrong, there's nothing bad about that, but they are not spiritual. Also, I know that I can't say anything like that.
That's a big part of who you are, actually, because when we're talking about crystals, and we're talking about meditation,
just simple thing.
Religion, because we'll cover all different.
Everything, yeah.
We'll talk about even out of body experiences. We'll talk about the universe, aliens, paranormal things, because all of those things are real. And when people don't believe it, I'm like, but look at us in this big solar system. Do you really think we're the only life? No way. No way.
Do you think it's funny? Some people that don't believe in aliens, but it's because but we haven't seen them. I'm like, yeah, but if you see them, you'll probably die because their vibration might not be like yours, might not resonate with your vibration. We see everything in a mammal perspective. We are mammals. We come from a father, from a mother, and we get out from the womb. We see the father. Yeah. Well, most people do. Hopefully.
Yeah. But you know what it is? Like you said, it's that thing of also we are, as humans, we're quite frightened of things. So subconsciously through movies and things like that, things have been projected to us about what aliens look like and stuff. So we envision, if we were to see an alien, that it must look like that. But actually, we're the aliens when you think about it, because I'm sure if another species came here, they'd be like, what the hell is this?
What the hell is this? What is this? They won't even know what's a mother, what's a father.
So exactly.
That's the thing. Like everything we see is in a mammal perspective, but in the universe, there are beings out there that there are no mammals. There's no picture. They don't even know what that is. So everything we see is in our perception, because we're born in this planet, this world, and we survive here as mammals. Aliens, they could not live here because they probably not live here because they have a different vibration than us,
and their technology has probably surpassed ours by millions. Like we're getting there, but we are probably so behind.
One of my clients said something so interesting. He said aliens are probably looking at us and thinking, why do I need to go there, see this bunch of ants? Their consciousness is so more developed than us. They come.
You know, all these kind of what we were saying about how as human beings we need, we desire. They don't have that, and I think that's probably why people who, like you said, who let everything go, actually end up with that kind of internal happiness and so forth, because all we end up with is the stress, all we end up with the anxiety, all the kind of negativities of. And even though they say in life, it's a choice, you choose to be happy or you choose to be sad, a lot, unfortunately, of the system of having to go to work, having to pay bills, you get trapped. However,
I feel like as well, Nico, a lot of people, they are really into short-term pleasure. Which brings no long-term fulfillment. No. Short-term pleasure is like having a sweet, it feels nice for a bit, and then it goes off.
You really want a chocolate bar, and you have it, like, oh my god, it's so good. And then after you're like, oh, actually the wait. Oh, that's so good. Was it even worth it? I know exactly.
That's why, because short-term pleasure, it's easier to get, it's quicker, and it's there. However, it goes like that, and then in long-term. However, I feel like the best inner fulfillment that you can have is within. the happiness, the content just of
To
existence.
get to that though, because no one teaches you how to actually find that. No one. It's not taught in school. It's not really taught really anywhere.
No one teaches
you
that.
have to go to actually search for it, because actually maybe the world doesn't want us to be enlightened. Maybe the world doesn't want us to be switched.
They want you to need, like, of course, don't get me wrong, I love movies, I'm a nerd.
Yep,
however, some people say, oh, I have to find the next movie, I've got to find the next football match, the next ball. The true happiness is within, you know. And when you find that place, it is hard because there's a lot of inner work to be done.
As well, and so
temptations, you know. And of course, you get like invitations to parties, drinking, you know, women, sex and stuff like that, which don't get me wrong, is great. However, all these things are just short-term pleasure, which is just temporary, really. It's like when people meet other people, they expect to be happy with them and for them, but they expect them to show them happiness, make them happy.
It doesn't work like that.
People can contribute to your happiness, however, they're not responsible for it. No,
and it takes a lot to learn that, because actually we blame people, don't we, for making us unhappy. We're like, oh, you made me unhappy, you ruined my life, you, and it's like, well, no. Firstly, you allowed me
to be in your life. It's your choice.
It was my choice to stay and try to help you and so forth. But then it gets to a point where you actually can't keep blaming that person anymore. You've actually got to kind of step away, get your closure, and leave it alone now. And then be like, do you know what? I'm not going to harbour that resent and that bitterness and stuff like that. You know what? We had some good experiences together. We had a good time.
It's been a good lesson.
I learned lessons from you. I now know how I want to be treated. I now know what I won't tolerate. Because it's all about learning about your tolerance. Because also another big thing is, I always believed in life that there's like a table, and you know what you bring to the table. You know your worth, you know who you are, because you've gone on that journey, you know, to know what you want and what you don't want. So for me, I find it a very struggle, because I always used to meet broken people. I always used to say this, I attracted broken people. I don't know what it was about my spirit, but I just seem to attract people who have a lot of problems and need to be helped and need me to be their empath, need me to listen and
you believed that, or did it just happen to you?
It just kept happening. Like, I don't know what it was.
But the more it happened, the more you follow through.
Yeah,
you believed.
and I was like, what on earth is going on here? Like, why can't I just kind of meet someone who's on my level already? Why do I have to keep trying to help people all the time, you know? And what it was is, I just felt like I was up here, and I felt like I met people who were here, and I had to come off my ledge, go all the way down, and then I had to pull them up and try to get them onto my table. But the only bad thing about doing that is, once you step off and you go down and you're trying to constantly help that person to get up there, who's helping me? I've literally done this big leap of faith where I'm down here and I'm doing the most to save this person and bring them up and help them, listen to them, make your life better. But I'm investing so much energy and my time into doing that. What's left for myself to improve myself? I wasn't improving myself. I was just spending all my money. I was enjoying the parties, the short-term pleasures. I was doing all of that. But I wasn't, like I said, I always wanted to own my own barbershop. I didn't pursue. I was talking
to this Brazilian woman. She said, when you help people, help them with the minimum, because if you give them too much, you take away their power.
That's, you know what I mean? I was becoming kind of, you become almost them in a sense. You're doing.
Yeah, you gotta let people know that they are the ones who needs to sort their life out, and you need them.
From a distance, you can help and you can interject and you can say.
You can interact. I think education is the best way to help someone. That's why I try to help kids in Brazil who doesn't have the opportunity to study, to pay for a college and stuff like that. Because the education in Brazil, it's not like here, you know.
It's not free.
It's not free. You've got. My mom had to work very hard to send me to a private school. We were not rich, but she had to do that because the schools in Brazil from the government are no good. Like they say, for instance, it's supposed to be 5 classes, and then you only have 2 or 1 class per day. And it was sad that doing nothing all day. It's really bad. Like, so your parents, if they don't pay you to a private school, you're literally not gonna know anything. So I think with education is the best way. However, I feel like not everyone wants to be educated as well. Some people, school's not for everyone. So I think everyone has to follow their own path and stuff like that. However, I feel like, you know, for sure, if you have people in your life, it has to be people who resonate with you, who can, you know, I think people, they should be 2 free birds who fly, and then you come back and you talk to each other, then you go out, do your own thing, come back to each other. You need to be free. Yeah, because I've been with people that they want to fly my fight.
When we all fly to the same place and do the same thing, none of us have got anything different to talk about, and that is the honest truth.
You should be. You can be together with someone until it's enough for you to go and do your thing. They go and do their own thing, and then you come back and see
It's
each other.
healthy.
It's balance.
Yeah.
You need balance in life because it's very important for me, even in friendship as well. I said to people, I'm your friend, I love you, and I want to see you. However, I also have my journey, I have my life.
Yeah, basically, as friends, you don't have to like live in each other's pockets in that sense. Good friends can sometimes not speak for a week, and the minute they pick up that phone and have a conversation,
it's like nothing.
It's like you never left one another.
Yeah.
You don't have to see each other every single day, but when you do see each other, it's so meaningful, and that's what counts.
Yeah.
And good friends will be there.
Yeah, and of course, I don't really have time to have many friends because I'm so busy. But
Yeah,
people who I hang out with has to be people who are spiritual because I'm a very spiritual person and I want to be free when I speak to someone. I don't want to be limited because I feel like some people are very limited about what they think and what they say, and why be limited? Because we are capable of so much more, and I'm always trying to find out who I really am as a person, where I come from, and why we're here. I don't think there's a reason why we're here, but there's so much to learn. There's so much why limit yourself? Like, why so many books to read? There's so much, to discover, and it's just cool to be able to read a book and go to someone and say, "Oh, man, I'm actually reading this book, so good, so I recommend
and
to you."
Say, "Oh, what's it about?" And be interested, and have someone say, "Oh, that's stupid. I don't want to hear it," because already that's just negativity. It's just shut you down.
I know people that literally think everything's physical, and anything that's beyond that is bullshit.
You know what? They're entitled to
They're entitled to think like that, no problem. However, I don't want to think like that because I don't want to be a limited being. I don't want to be just like.
Sometimes, unfortunately, that's what human beings do, don't we? Because we have that kind of herd mentality, and we want to be accepted and we want to be liked. Sometimes we shut our own beliefs down and accept others' beliefs because it's peer pressure. We want to fit in, so we find that we actually don't be our true selves. Don't maybe be as out there as you want to be. Don't say the crazy thoughts in our mind that are not crazy. They're actually probably really genuinely good thoughts, but you just won't say anything because you don't want to look stupid. And I think that's the worst thing you can do. Those are not necessarily the right people to surround yourself with.
What do you think? Why do you think we're here? Do you think there's a reason why we're here? Do you think?
That's a very good question.
Do you think? I think like in life we're here to experience being alive. I don't think life has a purpose, like this is the meaning of life. Some people try to find the meaning of life, but I don't think life has a meaning. I think that's why when I see people and they want to drink and they want to do that, I think that's fine because they're having a physical experience and that's what they want to experience. They might not be healthy at the end of it. They might pay for their health towards the end. However, they had a choice of choose the experience of being physically in a body.
I think because some people believe in like reincarnation and things like that. I think there's so many different things to believe in, and for me, I feel like obviously I'm not religious, so for me, I don't believe like there is just a God, and I don't know what that God is. I believe more there's a spiritual being. I don't know what that being is.
There's a source.
Like,
there is an essence.
Like because something made this. We came from something.
There is something.
Yeah, and then because of all the supernatural and the paranormal and the kind of wonderful things that are life, like deja vu feelings and feeling like you've lived before, feeling like because spirits are on us. There's nothing to say that we couldn't have been someone before. So hence why sometimes you meet someone and your souls just resonate and you think, I feel like I know you, and I don't know why. It's weird.
Where do you think that comes from?
And that could be because people have lived hundreds and thousands of years before us.
Do you know, like, I was watching the podcast and the guy said, if we reincarnate, if we come back to another life, which I'm not sure about it. I don't know. I hope so. I hope so. But if we do, which I think is possible, if everything is in the now, there's no tomorrow, there's no yesterday.
That's beautiful. Yeah.
It's possible that you met yourself in a past life now.
See, there you go.
So I could have been you in a past life, and you could have been me in a past life.
And there could be parallel universes going on as well.
Parallel universes, I love that.
Different dimensions where there's different uses, but just different forms, doing different things. Maybe in another dimension, you're not a tattoo artist, you're something else. You just never know. Like maybe you're
because I think
it's weird, isn't it? How we have all of these different skills and talents, but we don't always pursue them all.
I think maybe our existence is not just on this body. Our existence could be a lot bigger than what we think, and could be in different bodies. And
but I feel like we've been kind of trapped, haven't we? Because when you think about it as well, as the mind, we only use like 10%, they say, of our brain. What the hell does the other 90 do? Because the other 90 surely is telepathic. surely, because you know sometimes when you think the same things as someone, and you look at someone and you're like, we are, and you say even the same thing, and you're like, whoa, that was weird. Like, how did that happen? I think energy and connection. I think there's a lot going on that we're just not seeing at all.
I believe we're still speaking, like, but one day we could just not speak and just telepathically, because when you dream, you don't speak, you just telepathically.
Teleport. I believe all of those things are doable. Superhuman strength. Why some people, when you know, like a loved one's trapped in a car, they can just rip a whole car door off. Not even thinking about why can some people, you know, run super fast, and some people's minds can hold numbers, and you know they can do mathematical equations that you think, my God, how do you know that? You know, some people can remember so many things, and
some people are really good with languages and
multiple languages. So I do believe we all have that ability, but we're just not using it. Because there's,
do you know, like, I limit myself a bit like that, where of course I was born speaking Portuguese, and then I came to England, so I had to learn English.
So you're bilingual,
right? So, but I still have this belief inside of me that language is not really for me. I feel like English was a language that I had to speak. I had no choice.
Because it was the main thing.
But I think, maybe I wouldn't be so good at learning German or something sort of Chinese, but I probably would. But it's just my belief, you know. Maybe it's there, but I just don't have that, you know, that confidence. Basically, that maybe the only limitation that exists is the one that we create in our own mind.
Mate, spot on. Even like working out, like wanting to change your physique or get healthier, you know, when you think, oh, the gym, oh man, I ain't got time to do that, but actually there is that time there, but it's willpower. It's really overcoming
and making not what I try to do for me is not making a big deal out of things, because sometimes
the more you overthink it, the worse it is.
Sometimes you see the plates in your kitchen, oh, I've got to wash up. It's not a big deal. It's so good.
Actually, just go over there and do it while you're maybe making a cup of tea.
And once you finish it, you're like, that was so easy.
There you go. You know,
when you go to the gym, it's like, that was so easy. I just needed to drive here.
Exactly. If you know you don't have the motivation in your own home to work out, then you've got to go to the